how can we make this work? If somebody's getting certification or materials, you find a way to charge for that. The startup costs are high, but you can build sustainability through alumni donations, recruitment, things like that. You don't need new technologies. Go with what's there, go with what exists. And federal mandates, federal mandates really could make state and federal level MOOCs, but I believe right now the first step is a state level MOOC that really looks at school finance, and that's what I'm proposing. So local, more competitive contexts might differ. So standardized MOOCs, they might not be able to meet the needs that administrators have. So I think in that case, are you looking at doing individual online MOOCs for specific school districts, which I don't see that as sustainable and viable. So the end result is that the states need to be involved in this movement. Cutbacks in professional development funds have strained training budgets, especially for administrators. If you can actually do webinars and online training programs, this is something that can help, and this is something that can benefit. But it can also reduce, it can also reduce cost as well. And in the era that we're living in, anything that we can do to reduce cost is tremendous. So the rest of the book kind of talks about Common Core and school market choice. I'm not going to even bother to address Common Core with you all because you've already lived through it. You know kind of what the consequences, the successes, the intended consequences and the unintended consequences look like. So you can look at that on your own if it's something you still care about. School autonomy it's difficult, and one of the things that I think is a good example of this is that in Kentucky we talk about site-based management a lot, and I've visited Kentucky. I've worked with 2 school districts in Kentucky, and it's more site-based management. The building principal has autonomy, they can make decisions. In Florida, it's a county-wide system, which creates even more difficult challenges. Because there's true decentralization of authority, that can cause many issues as well. But I think school reform has better chances of success if it's done locally and it's encouraged at a local level more than anything else. So Diane Ravitch is somebody that, if you say school reform, she's a name that's going to come up. She used to be a supporter of No Child Left Behind, but she said we need to have a balanced curriculum, and teachers need the autonomy to determine what that looks like. Michael Fullen, as you know, in any school reform class, you would go through Michael Fullen. You've probably had to read his books, but he spoke about teamwork, how you can engage students for continuous improvement, and what intrinsic motivation looks like versus extrinsic, which if you want to sustain schools, that's probably the most effective way to do it. So those are the main takeaway messages. The key idea that I want to say is that none of you really will ever be completely prepared for school reform. But I think you need to understand that these can impact you in your organizations, but it's something that it's going to keep changing on a yearly basis. Just understand that and know that we're never going to have a consistent pattern of reform in schools. So hopefully this helped you and it gave you a good overview of school reform that you've covered in your other classes. I hope you've gotten something out of this class, and I hope kind of what we've spoke about today is something that can help you moving forward. Thank you.